Welcome to Short Sale Coach. I'm Nadia Kilburn, and today we're talking about the general short sale process from start to finish, real generally. What can you expect from the beginning all the way through closing? If you are not subscribed, please subscribe, comment, like, let me know if you have a question. I do try to reply to everybody as soon as possible. So if you ask a mortgage lender, what does a short sale process look like? They're going to give you kind of a vague answer, and they're going to say something like, fill out an application. Within 30 days of receiving that application, we'll let you know if your short sale gets approved. It's much more complicated than that, and it involves different steps. So the purpose of this video is just to kind of walk you through generally what you can expect. As we know by now, the property that we're dealing with is underwater, right? Meaning that the home is worth less than what is owed on the mortgage. And so in order to sell it, it requires lender permission. In order to do that, getting that lender permission is going through the short sale process to get short sale approval. So the end all be all thing you are looking for in a short sale is that short sale approval letter. So the very first thing, going all the way back to the beginning, is obviously you need to list the property. And so as an agent, you list the property at fair market value. There's no need, if the homeowner understands that they're going to go through a short sale and everybody is on the same page around wanting to do a short sale, there's no need to list the property higher than what you believe fair market value is, right? Short sales are sold at fair market value. And so you list the property right where you think you can bring in an offer based on your understanding of fair market value. Then generally, while the property is listed and being shown, the homeowner should be compiling and working on their financial package. So short sales require a pretty intense, comprehensive financial package. We talk about this in other videos, but the homeowners need to be able to prove that they truly cannot afford to sustain and resume mortgage payments. And so part of short sale approval is showing all of these financials to the lender. So the property is being listed. The homeowner, while it's being listed, is compiling their short sale financial package. There's a slight detour here. So if your investor on your homeowner's property is FHA, you're going to try to submit the financials as soon as possible. There are more videos on that. But generally, you're waiting to see when you have an offer so you can submit everything together. Again, there's another video around why you should submit early with an FHA file. But overall, the financial package is being prepped. The home is being listed. Along with that financial package is this lender's application, meaning each individual homeowner has a different bank and each different bank has a different application. So hopefully you can kind of, get information from this page and figure out how to prepare the most complete financial package. But essentially the home is listed, buyer is working on financials. And then at some point a buyer will make an offer. Once the offer is accepted, you compile your entire short sale package together. That includes all the related offer documents and the borrower's financial package, and then that goes to the lender to quote unquote start negotiations. The first thing that the lender will need to do is deem the file complete. And what that means is before they look at the offer documents, they go through the homeowner's financial package. During this phase, they'll have questions, they'll have additional items needed. Well, hopefully they won't if you watch this page and learn how to get everything complete really quickly, but they'll have questions. At some point, the lender will deem the file complete, and at that moment, usually it takes anywhere from 15 to 30 days to get that deemed complete notice. But once they deem the file complete, that's the point in time where they order a BPO or an appraisal of the property. Some lenders order a BPO depending on who the investor is. Other lenders and investors will order a full appraisal, and there's another video going to be posted here about that. So financial package is deemed complete. We have an offer, the lender orders the appraisal. The lender will then send an appraiser to the home. So the agent for the property will be contacted by a BPO agent or an appraiser. That appraiser will come to the home. They'll look at the home. It's typically interior. And you want it to be interior. You want this BPO agent, the appraisal agent, to see everything that is going on with the property. So they truly do report fair market value of the home. So that person will come to the property. They'll do their evaluation, and then they have to send that appraisal report from the appraisal company back to the lender. That takes about 7 days or so. The lender will receive the appraised value back, and then they will respond to the offer. They're going to respond to the offer in many different ways. They're either going to tell you that your purchase price is good, but some of the fees you've requested that they paid either need to be reduced or removed, or your offer is way off from the appraised value, at which point they'll tell you what they need to approve. And at that point, you can either engage in more negotiations around the value or have the buyer raise their offer or relist the home to bring them what they need. And there's more information about kind of the nuances of that negotiation process later on the page. page. But essentially, once the appraisal's back, the lender will respond. They'll tell you what they need. You'll either work with them to get them to adjust what they need, or you'll give them what they need. And then at that point, the lender will issue an approval letter. It's a full letter in writing saying exactly what the terms are that are approved to close: the purchase price, the minimum net the lender needs, what fees are approved, and it'll give you about 30 to 45 days to close the short sale. Once you have that approval letter, the file then moves to closing, meaning you're no longer negotiating with the lender, but you're working with escrow and the buyer's lender, or the buyer's, however the buyer is paying for the home, you're working with that party to just essentially get the property closed. About 48 to 72 hours before your close date, short sales have what's called a final HUD approval process, where right before it's about to close, escrow has prepared their final settlement statement, meaning everything is complete and will not change. That final settlement statement gets sent to the short sale lender for a process called final HUD approval. They look at the very final HUD right before closing. It's a little stressful, and so I do have some videos posted on how to work with the final HUD approval process. But basically, they'll review it and they'll give you what's called a clear to close. And then escrow will close the short sale. That will be complete. And then there's a final phase after that where a certain amount of what's called post-closing documents go back to the lender. These things usually include a copy of the stamped final settlement statement, wire confirmation or tracking information for a check showing that the funds were actually sent to the lender. And then there's various arm's length addendums, anti-fraud addendums, different things that the lender wants signed and returned. Those documents differ based on who your lender is, but overall that's the general process. You list it, you do the financial package, the lender reviews the financial package, they order their appraisal, they tell you the results, they give you approval, and then you close it. Good luck.